and one in Utah. The National Rifle Association's answer to last week's school shooting in Connecticut, well, it's more guns at schools manned by police officers.
The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
That's NRA Executive Vice President Wayne LaPierre. He blames video games, movies, and music videos for exposing children to a violent culture. The NRA proposal is not getting good play in the tri-state.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie responded to the NRA's idea by saying you don't want to turn schools into armed camps.
I am not someone who believes that having multiple armed guards in every school is something that will enhance the learning environment, and that's our first responsibility inside the school, is the learning environment.
Besides, Governor Christie says one armed guard wouldn't be enough. You need guards outside every classroom using the NRA's reasoning, because he says a shooter could come in through a different door and start shooting before a guard could reach him.
That's WCBS's Levon Putney. In New York, Mayor Bloomberg, who's been at the forefront of fighting for stricter gun controls, says the NRA's response is a shameful evasion of the crisis facing our country.
It's just not appropriate to have millions of assault weapons spread around the country in this day and age. The technology that is there today is nothing that the Founding Fathers envisioned. It's not needed to protect anybody. Quite the contrary, it's what causes the carnage.
Bloomberg says the group's call for armed guards in schools represents a paranoid vision of America. Today, the City Council's task force to combat gun violence will release its recommendations on gun control. President Obama is trying to keep the movement flowing toward an agreement to avoid the fiscal cliff before year's end, but he acknowledges that while he and Republicans do not agree on deficit reduction, they do agree that taxes for the middle class should not go up, and that unemployment benefits should be extended.
At the very least, let's agree right now on what we already agree on. Let's get that done.
The president would like an agreement on that after the holiday break, and then he says lawmakers can tackle the other part of the puzzle, which is deficit reduction. WCBS News Time 10:34. Will city school bus drivers walk out? That story next.
To residents and businesses in Lower Manhattan, the devastation from Hurricane Sandy was bigger than we expected. It hasn't been easy, and we at Verizon know that you're all ready to get back to business as usual, to get back to normal. We are too. But we're creating a new normal, a more advanced normal, a new communications infrastructure that rivals any in the world, one that is more resilient to storms and flooding, one the world's financial epicenter deserves. We've already removed more than 100 tons of destroyed copper, and we've replaced it with more than 5,000 miles of fiber optic strands. Years worth of work in just a few weeks. And we're working around the clock to do much more. We're not going to stop until this upgrade is complete, and we build a network that'll serve Lower Manhattan for decades to come. We are Verizon, and this is our promise to you.
WCBS News Time 10:35. Kids in New York City could have problems getting to school after the holiday break.
New York City's school bus contracts have risen from $71 million in 1979 to $1.1 billion today. They haven't gone out to bid in 33 years. Now the drivers' union is threatening a walkout because in asking for bids, the city does not guarantee the jobs of certain drivers, something the mayor says the courts prohibit.
Going through with the strike now would be unfair to our kids and absolutely unacceptable.
If it happens, though, the city will distribute Metro cards to and otherwise reimburse the travel expenses of the more than 152,000 students who would be affected. At City Hall, Rich Lamb, WCBS 880 News.
As Newtown, Connecticut continues to bury the victims of last week's school shootings, generous offers are pouring in from all over the country.
Offers are coming in to help build a new school for the children of Sandy Hook Elementary, and says David Deshane of the United Way of Connecticut, people are offering their services free of charge, while others offer to raise money.
Someone from Upland, California, asked their friends and family to donate to the fund in lieu of Christmas gifts.
Says Deshane, mental health providers are offering their services free to residents, and there's an ongoing flow of homemade meals from other caring individuals. One man from Louisiana ordered $19,000 worth of toys delivered to the children of Newtown, Connecticut. Brian Schneider, WCBS 880 News.
WCBS News Time 10:37. Traffic and weather together is next.
Kathy, 1-800-BUCKS.
Is this a trick question?
When you buy my Bob-O-Pedic Queen mattress set for only $5.99, you save $800 off Tempur-Pedic's price.
Oh, yes. I still can't figure out how they can justify their prices when you sleep just as well on your Bob-O-Pedic.
Even better, knowing you saved $800. Hundreds of thousands of people swear by it.
Here is Bob's Discount Furniture Store. Paragon Honda invites you to upgrade your vehicle through the Vehicle Exchange Program. Lease the 2013 Accord for $219 a month. That's just $8 a day. Shop 24/7, 365 by simply visiting www.paragonhonda.com or call 1-800-PARAGON. Paragon service departments are open 7 days a week for all your service needs. For well-qualified buyers, the $4 sedan model CR2F3DW, 36-month lease, $29.99 down. Lesser conditioning fees. Vehicle must be in drivable condition.
What does the car next to you have that yours doesn't? I mean, besides a good wax job, that driver's saving 15% or more on their car insurance, and all they have to do is go to geico.com. Why don't you contact Geico today? And maybe get your car washed.
WCBS News Time 10:38. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. What's happening out there, Dave Snickle?
Wow, we've got a massive delay on the crosswalks. It's just somebody broke it down. It's not even an accident, but boy, the westbound traffic is not moving from the Bruckner interchange all the way out to 3rd Avenue. Eastbound side's not affected, thank goodness. The George Washington Bridge not affected either because it was just hard getting there. Lincoln Tunnel, Holland Tunnel, both very, very quiet. Still plenty of very heavy stop-and-go traffic on the northbound B3 coming around the end by the bend by Cadman Plaza and into the Brooklyn Bridge, but an earlier stall's been gone for a while now. No major complaints as you make your way out along the Gowanus Expressway. Over in New Jersey, 280 East at Clifton Avenue, then at exit 14 in Newark. There was an accident. It's actually on the shoulder, but traffic is still very slow from exit 13. That is Orange Street. Be careful. No major delays through the Hudson Valley, even along the Tappan Zee Bridge in each direction. Long Island roads, they are nice and quiet unless, of course, you're near a shopping mall. Just be very, very careful. Don't forget the transit trouble we have. Southbound A&D trains running local service only between 125th Street and 59th. That because of the derailment at 81st Street. Our next traffic update, less than 10 minutes on WCBS.
Pinpoint weather forecast. Here's meteorologist Bill Baker.
With wind gusts expected to be close to 45 miles an hour today, a wind advisory is... Monday will give way to clouds, a high of 41 for your Christmas Eve. I'm meteorologist Bill Danger in the WCBS Weather Center.
Partly sunny at JFK where it's 39 degrees. Cloudy at LaGuardia where it's 38. The wind is blowing everywhere. WCBS News Time 10:40. Next on the Osgood File, our entitlement program's immortal.
I wear my father's Patek Philippe wristwatch every day, and every day I am reminded of him. I used to watch the way he dressed. He would shave and talk, trying to answer my every question. He would put on his crisp, new white shirt and a different suit for every day of the week. I could never understand why. I always wore my favorite pants every day. He would then put his wallet into one pocket and his fountain pen into the other. And finally, it was always finally, for some reason, he would put on his watch, his Patek Philippe watch. And every day he said the same thing. One day you will wear this on your wrist. And now I do. And every time I wear it, I think of him.
To see the full line of Patek Philippe watches, visit Laviano Jewelers at 175 Westwood Avenue, Westwood, New Jersey. Call 201-664-0616 or go to LavianoJewelers.com.
WCBS News Time 10:41.
The Osgood File. This is Charles Osgood. It's been said the closest thing to immortality in human affairs is a government program, especially an entitlement program. It's what the government gives, you never can take it away. Those who get it really like it, feel it, entitled thereunto. This is confirmed now by the Pew Research Center, which surveys the lay of the land. The reason Social Security has been called the third rail of politics is well understood by all politicians. Touch it and you die, politically anyway. Holding on to your seat is a great imperative in Congress, which perhaps explains the curious posture of so many members. The Pew Research Center's poll includes Social Security plus food stamps, Medicare, Medicaid, unemployment, and welfare benefits.
55% of American adults say they have received such benefits at some point in their lives.
Paul Taylor, lead author of the survey.
60% of Democrats have received one of these benefits at some point in their lives. So have 52% of Republicans. 59% of those who voted for President Obama have received the benefit. 53% of those who voted for Mitt Romney have received such a benefit.
We keep all asking, among other things, whether we are entitled to all these and whether the government should be responsible.
60% of people who themselves have received such a benefit say, yes, it's the government's responsibility, but so do 55% of those who have never received such a benefit. The view that there should be a social safety net is a majority view. A rising share of Americans have received benefits. Now, that has to do with policy changes over many decades. It has to do with demographic change. A growing share of our population now is older. These benefits become virtually automatic to older folks.
No wonder it's so hard to get either party in Washington to specify which entitlements they'd cut and by how much. Penalty would be so stiff, they'd sooner go jump off a cliff. The Osgood File. Charles Osgood on the CBS Radio Network.
The craving for chocolate is all grown up. Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry presents Levion Chocolate Diamonds and chocolate-cultured South Sea Pearls. From ancient royalty to today's red carpet, Levion is the only company on Earth to make jewelry with chocolate diamonds, including exclusive designs you'll only find at Jared. It can only be Jared! Find a Jared store or shop anytime at Jared.com.
Why is a Home Depot gift card the perfect stocking stuffer? Well, a new deck won't fit under the tree, at least not the Christmas tree, and a bathroom update is so hard to wrap. But choose any gift card from the Home Depot's creative collection, and it can be whatever any doer on your list wants it to be. Give the gift of doing this year with a little pocket-sized power. A gift card from the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. U.S. only. See store for details.
Gary Stanley standing by with the sports.
Welcome to Toyotathon, our biggest sales event of the year. Please listen closely. Some of our great offers have changed. In fact, this Toyotathon, we're offering big savings on almost everything. Press 1 for the RAV4. Press 2 for Highlander. Press 3 for Venza. Press 4 for all of the above. You selected all of the above. Right now, get 0% APR financing for 60 months on 9 of your favorite Toyota models. Like 0% APR financing for a full 60 months on a new 2012 RAV4. Or 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2013 Highlander or Sienna. Toyotathon is on. This is one event you don't want to miss.
0% APR financing for 60 months with $1,000 borrowed on new 2012 Avalon, Camry, RAV4, Prius plug-in, 2013 Venza, Corolla, Sienna, and 2012-2013 Highlander and Tundra models. On approved credit from Toyota Financial Services, all for excludes Camry and Highlander hybrid models. All may vary by region. See participating dealer for details. All brands 1-2-13.
Cloudy and 37 degrees. The winds are blowing. We have a wind advisory in effect until 8 p.m. tonight. The 5-day forecast in 3 minutes. 8:80 on your AM.